A very good morning, Dr. C. Bibin, coordinator of this program. Good morning, participants. Very good morning to Mr. Karthikesh Kumar Jha. So first, I wish to thank Mr. Karthikesh Kumar Jha for having accepted our invitation to deliver a lecture on design and development of electric vehicles using ANSYS. So now we are in the fifth day of this Atal FDP. Past 4 days have gone very successfully. All the 12 sessions were interactive and informative. Participants have given wonderful feedback and they thank the organizers for bringing wonderful speakers from across the country and abroad. I take immense pleasure and honor in introducing our today's speaker, resource person, Mr. Karthikesh Kumar Jha, who is an application engineer in ARK Info Solutions Private Limited. He is a elite channel partner of ANSYS. Karthikesh received the BE degree in the year 2012 and ME degree in the year 2015 and pursuing PhD, all in the domain of electrical engineering from Dr. T. Thammayya Institute of Technology, Birla Institute of Technology, National Institute of Technology, Patna, respectively. He joined as an assistant professor at the Central University of Jharkhand, Ranchi, in the year 2016. He joined as a junior research fellow in 2017 for DST sub-sponsored project entitled Design and Development of a Low-Cost BLDC Motor Drive Solar PV-based Irrigation System. In the Department of Electrical Engineering at NIT Patna, the project is going on there. His interests are in power electronics, control systems, electrical machines, and electric vehicle simulation design. Presently, he is working as an application engineer at ARK Info Solutions Private Limited. He is an ANSYS certified engineer. He works in the low frequency and electrification. He has received many certificates of appreciation as an expert speaker during webinars organized by many reputed universities on the topic of electric vehicle. He is also a co-founder of Bihar startup program named Novamesh Situa India Private Limited, Incubation Center at IIT Patna. Sir is going to deliver lecture on design and development of electric vehicles using ANSYS. So once again, I take the opportunity to welcome our eminent speaker, Mr. Karthikesh Kumar, for this session. Sir, the session is yours. You please carry on, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for this giving me such opportunity to speak in front of you people. And I would like to add electrification. Nowadays, you are also heard a news that in 4 seconds, Ola Electric is basically selling their car like a hot cake. So electrification is basically a very important topic right nowadays from the
Sir, voice
research
is
point of view. Hello.
can little bit improved, sir. Volume is low.
Now it's okay, sir.
Yeah, now it's okay, sir. Now it's okay.
Okay, I was basically telling that electrification is very important going through from the research academic to the OEM industrial point of view. So people are very much interested in doing research related to battery efficiency part. They are basically interested in how we can recycle the electric batteries and how I will improve the performance of electric vehicle machines and how we can go for designing. And so for designing it costs a lot. So what ANSYS will basically provides you, ANSYS will basically give you a simulation tool so you can design it. So let me share my screen for further details. So and then I will show you like how ANSYS will basically help you in your in designing and the development of your electric vehicle. So then you will be that so today we will basically focused on ANSYS solution for electric vehicle, like how ANSYS will basically help you in going for designing and the development part. So for that, uh, okay, so let me change this little bit. Okay, so ANSYS will basically give you a virtual library. So for by using that virtual library, what you will do, you will easily at any time, anywhere, and at any scale you can do your simulation. Like you want to test your whole control design for the electric vehicle, and you basically want to change the frontal area of the electric vehicle, or you basically want to change the battery, like from lithium ion you want fuel cell or many other advantage. But when you are going for hardware part, you require a lot of money, lot of fund. So that cost a lot when you are, and if that will fail, you will basically have to redesign your whole structure and your whole component you have bought it, and the whole component you are basically joined and perform all the analysis, so that will go in vain. So that will by using that virtual lab of the ANSYS, you will basically assess and you can able to change any dynamic stability of the system, and any stability, reliability test, heat, and the stress and strain test can be easily done. And after doing that whole process of the electric vehicle designing and development part, you will go for analyzing the fluid dynamics, structural dynamic of the electric vehicle, and then you will go for finally. And many people are right now, you just also go through my profile. I also a founder, co-founder of one startup that is basically going on in and that part we are basically going for designing of hardware of the electric vehicle. And we are also planning for designing of like how we can design the charging station. And people are right nowadays, people are basically interested in to make their charger not only fast, efficient, but also they want wireless charger, because that is also a new technology people are basically interested in to charge. And somewhere you also heard that like people are basically interested to charge there with the solar panel, with the renewable energy. Then we will basically make and reduce the carbon footprint. So that is the our goal, and that is also a clean, and the green energy part is also a very important initiative. So that also will comes under, like if you want to design your whole electric vehicle and you basically want to charge it by using the renewable energy, so you have two possibility according to research point of view. So for that we will discuss this later on when we will go for research part, like what type of topic we will easily and we will get when we are we basically want to focus on for designing the EV system for our whole R&D research and doing the other process. So now you can see that that ANSYS electrification solution, what we have designed, what we are doing, we are basically dividing our electric vehicle in the four pillars. So that four pillars are basically such as battery and the battery management system. And we basically required a lot of cost of the electric vehicle comes under the battery part, because we all know the lithium ion right nowadays the technology is good, but the cost for that technology basically covered 30 to 40% of the whole electric vehicle cost. And the slow charging, and it take nearly 5 to 6 hours to charge. So that also we have to be considered, and that is the main area of the concern for the electric vehicle. And the second part comes under the power electronics devices. So how power electronics will basically help you, that power electronics works as a brain, and this brain will basically give signal and receive signal from the battery and to current, like when I have to go for slope, so what to do and how much current and the voltage is required. So that will think, and that the thinking information will be given and get back by the power electronics devices. And the next we have a electrical machine. So that how to run that electrical machine and what was the efficiency graph of the electrical machine, what was the noise and vibration that the machine will produce. So that also we have to be considered when we are going for designing. And the last but not least, the electrified proportional system. What we are doing, we are basically integrating the all the three like battery, electrical machine, power electronics devices on the same page, and then we will do the whole analysis. Like we have already done that analysis for the battery and the other things. So we are we will do that whole analysis for the electrification and then making that propulsion system or integrated system. So the as I told you, like we have divided in the four major area like battery and the battery management system. So I have subdivided that battery and the battery management system such as cell and the electrode performance and how to test that model and the pack thermal management and the system integration and the like we have electrical machine. And if you have electrical machine, you just have to think about like mileage, and in Hindi you can see like kitna deti hai. So that type of thing you just have to be considered when you are going for final designing of like what was the mileage and what was the cost of the motor and what was the size of the motor. So design optimization also play a very important role when you are designing and the prototyping or selecting your electrical machine. And then we have power electronics devices. So that power electronics devices basically make our motor to run according to the driver point of view. Like we required high rpm, we required low rpm, we are running and the low battery power battery system. So how to optimize that battery system. So these all circuit and the system design comes under the power electronics part. Then we have system integration. So we have to define the architectural definition. Like we don't have to make our vehicle from scratch to final design. We only have to change the battery and the battery management system. If battery is not working fine and not up to the mark, and if you want to change that electric machine is there and we just want to change and we just want to, so only we have to change the electrical machine. And nowadays, people are basically interested on SRM, switch reluctance motor for electric vehicle. So if you have any answer, you can also add it here. Why people are going and why people are switching to the switch reluctance. So that is also a major area of the concern when you are going for switch reluctance. And if you use a permanent magnet motor, what type of difficulty you will face. So that also we have to think about that. So these things comes under the electrical machine design and the control integrated part. And then we I have already told you, like we will basically discuss this one by one. So we will go for battery and the battery management system. In that system, what was the main goal? Main goal is to improve the power density and charging and discharging cycle and the operational life of the battery. So for that, we required, if in your college, you basically want to design and if you want to showcase that like battery thing, and people are basically like MTech people and the PhD and the research people are basically interested in, so they can collaborate and they can make a team of cell design team, thermal and the mechanical team, electrical team and the software team. So when they combine, they can easily make a good or improved power density charging and fast charging thing. That goal should be achieved by using the safety regulation. We have to follow that safety regulation part when we are designing any material or any component or the any device uh, before going to that marketization and before going to the market part. So we required cell information and the thermal, and then we have to go for electrical team for the filter designing, shielding, and to make the EMI, EMC effect to be reduced. So there we required an electrical team, and then we have a software. So that software team will require a battery management system. That battery management system will show what was the state of the charge of the battery, what was the state of the health of the battery. So that things comes under the battery management system part. Now what we have to do, we just have to create a sale and then we have to predict its performance. So as you see, it is already cited that the 3D model that created by the ANSYS will basically give you a consistent result of with the experiment. So that result will be help you, like you can see here that paper is already cited. So you can also rely or believe that like you have designed the same thing in your simulation part in ANSYS simulation. So that will basically predict the hardware experiment results. So you can also design it and you can also change it, and then you can reanalyze it for the cell and the electrode performance, and that will be also helpful for prediction of the performance of discharge rate. That is also helpful for the particle size determining. That will also help you to make your whole whole battery pack or the battery model by the weight of the volume ratio should be optimized. So that can be easily done using that ANSYS software. And then you require a battery model and the thermal management. So battery basically consists of a cell. Now what we are doing, we are basically combining this cell in the form of series parallel combination, and then we are providing a end plate mesh, and then model of the battery is created. Now your model for the battery is created, and now you have to do the temperature and the thermal density contour. So why temperature sensitivity and the temperature analysis is important? Like you can think like your electric vehicle is running from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, so there is a temperature variation. So that temperature variation from the outside environment also deteriorate and also basically degrade the performance of the battery. So you also have to check what type of like somewhere you will find you have to provide some heating effect to the battery, and somewhere you required cooling effect for your battery. So that also you have to design like what was the heat sink I basically required, and what type of cooling system, air cooled or any other liquid cool, will be provided to our battery for the perfect running information, because there is a lot of temperature variation from uh, somewhere in the at the time of winter we will basically get nearly -degree Celsius, 0 degree Celsius, and at this hot summer we will basically get the temperature range of 45. So that and that when you are running at that battery, so it will basically increase the temperature of the overall battery, and that will basically cost you a lot. Like if your fire or any accident happened due to battery for the electric vehicle, and you are going for the designing and you are making name in the market, so that name will be reduced. So you just have to go and check for that, and the analysis you just have to design, and you have to design the effective cooling for your battery pack. As now your model is ready, and we will basically provide and how to do that thermal abuse and the runaway mitigation part is there. You have designed a battery pack, and you have designed a model of the battery. Now what we will do, you will basically combining it, and after combining it we will do the thermal analysis. And if a good heat sink is not provided, so that will a thermal runaway option will be happen. So in that you can see a red spot is created because that part thermal prevention and that thermal effect is not taken into the consideration. But when a good heat sink is provided, so that red part is got reduced to some less value. So that also you have to take care when you are going for designing your main battery model and the battery pack system. And good thermal away basically improve the performance and enable the effective thermal management, and that will also help this will basically accurately predict the what was the life of the battery, and is there internal short is happened or not, and what was the range of the overheating temperature I am getting. So that also you will able to check it before going for final going for prototyping or the hardware part. And then we required a air cooled system. What air cooled system will basically do, that will basically take away the whole that heated part of the battery, and it will basically help in cooling down the battery for the certain range of temperature. But if you go for that 3D modeling, it will require a lot of time. So what we will do, we will basically reduce our battery by using the ROM, reduce order modeling, and then we will reduce it, and then we will combine it like a single cell characteristics is there, charging and discharging is there, and that single cell will be combined in a series parallel combination of the ECM is the equivalent circuit model. And then we are going for thermal analysis part, like both away communication is there, and we will rearrange and we will check it. So that will be basically with the help of twin builder we can easily do that. And the next we have is the battery pack thermal management and liquid cooled system. So in that what we will do, you can see here a hotspot is created here, so we just have to reduce that hotspot. So for reducing that hotspot, you require a cold plate thermal model is there. So that we basically have to focus to reduce that this hot part. So for that we have to select the material, like which type of cool and type of the cooling material and the type of the cooling we have to select. So this will be when you will go for final designing by using the twin builder and by using the Fluent, you can and easily characterized, and you can easily get the information like what was the drive cycle analysis of the battery, what was the state of the charge and the thermal behavior of the battery, and what was the and when you is this system is compatible with the BMS like battery management system or not. So we also do that, like for the battery management is a circuit system and this is basically a physical form, so we just have to reduce that in the circuit form and then we will analyze it with the battery management system. So one more thing, like your battery is ready, that is also working fine up to the mark you basically checked that part. Now we have to check what was the structural durability and the safety of the battery. So for that we required a nail penetration test. So that nail penetration test is basically done by using the LS Dyna present in the ANSYS software. So that will basically help you in doing that nail penetration test. So if we by using that test, you can easily able to optimize your whole battery. You will easily able to prevent the thermal runaway. You can easily get some insight or information about the abuse tolerance. So that will be with the help of battery structural reliability and the safety test. We can easily do that, like nail penetration test is there, and you can if you put that battery in this system, then that will also cause a vibration. So we just have to check that vibration part also, like how to and one more thing, like what was the how to minimize the crust and the impact effect, so that also we have to check. And the next we have a now we have a battery and we have connected with the DC cable and the whole system is created, like inverter is there and AC motor is connected. So they will basically produce some noise, and you also have some outside noise. So that outside noise will basically consist of EMI and the EMC. So that will basically how to minimize the cost, how to minimize the time. So that EMI EMC analysis will basically help you to minimizing the and this will also reduce the early detection and how to mitigate, that means how to remove that unwanted noise. So we can easily do that using the EMI EMC analysis, and that will also with the less cost. And now you have designed a battery management system. You just want to check what was the performance of the state of the charge and the state of the health of the battery. And so for that you required ANSYS SCADA. So that SCADA will basically give, like you can see here, ISO 26262 in for like that is the basically ISO 20262 is there. So that will basically provides you a standard related to like up to which mark your safety factor and the all things, and the AutoSAR is also there. So for that, so you just have to check, like I have designed it, but that is up to the industry standard or not. So that checking is also important. and controlling of the battery will also are important. So for that, what we will require, we will basically require a model based simulation, and then model that battery and the battery management system performance. So that will basically come together, and then we will reanalyze and we will recalculate. And for fast doing this calculation, we basically reduce our whole 3D physics, like you can see it, eccentricity test or the vibration test of the machine is there. And from there, by using the reduced order modeling, we will put that information to the twin builder, and I will show you how we can done with the motor part. Like I will take the PMSM, and then I will show you like how we will do that by using that twin builder, and we will import that to twin builder, and then we will design our battery management system. So this will basically help when you go for designing part, and this will also help for research. And now we have to compare that with the real-time system. So for real-time system, we have designed the pack, and now we also have a reduced order model, and we also have the pack. So we just have to give the direction to the BMS control. Now we connected the BMS control. Now we have to check what was the maximum allowed level of the current. So if that range will be increased up to the maximum allowed level, so how we can reduce that battery range? How we can reduce the battery current? So that also, for that is the main concern. So for that, we just have to check what was the voltage level, what was the current level, is the maximum voltage is going, or what was the like you have a battery and you have connected it, but that battery voltage is 48 volt, and you basically for the motor you required 400 volts. So how, if you connect it, what was the performance of the overall system of the battery and the battery management system? So that also you can check it directly by doing the transient dynamic analysis. And the next, you are basically integrating your battery and the battery management system with the whole machine, with the power electronics and the whole integration. And then you are checking what was the performance of my electric vehicle, overall electric vehicle system. Like we have designed a machine, so I will show you how this look like machine. And then we have a efficiency curve of that machine, and then we are importing it, and then we are combining as a whole circuit. Like we have a power source, we have power electronics, we have power cables, and we have PMSM machine, and then this is the mechanical load we have put it, and what was the performance. So now system integration information is required. What was the battery behavior when whole system is connected to the battery and the battery management system, so that you can easily design and reanalyze. And these are the software list of the ANSYS product basically used for the going for designing, like capabilities, applications, and the ANSYS product are there. So that ANSYS product will basically help you in designing. Like you are designing the draw, you want to do the drop test analysis. So for that drop test, you only require the LS Dyna. And for doing the BMS battery management control system and the validation verification, so you required ANSYS Twin Builder. There you have to put the physical 3D model to the ANSYS Twin Builder. And the next, we are going for designing the electrical machine design and the development. What you required from the machine? So main goal is the power density, energy efficiency, and overall operational life of the electrical machine. And for that, you require the electrical machine team, thermal and the CFD team, mechanical team, and the control and the software team. So main design and the specification, so main concept of the design and the specification is to meet our torque, power, and the packaging requirement is the main goal. Like ANSYS will basically provides you a MotorCAD, ANSYS MotorCAD. So I will show you how this will basically help you in going for designing part. So from the ANSYS MotorCAD, you can basically do a fast template, ready to go model is already present there. You just have to put the values and the specification according to your requirement, And from there you can do the electromagnetic analysis, you can do the thermal analysis, and you can do the mechanical stress strain analysis, you can do the efficiency mapping. So I will show you how we do the efficiency mapping performance for that integral magnet and the internal motor if you have it. And the next we have ANSYS OptiSlang is there, so that will basically help you in going to that optimizing your whole system. Like you have designed a motor, but the size of the motor and the cost of the motor is going to that limit or the budget of the customer. So how we do and how we can analyze, so that will basically comes under the budget, means the cost of the system and the reliability and the performance. So these are the parameters for going before going for that OptiSlang. These are the parameters we have to be considered. What are the climatic conditions? So that is also another parameter when we are going for optimizing our motor. And the next we have, like you have selected a material, but in your country or in your place, that material is not available. That material you have to import, and that import and the export thing is not possible to the. So such type of situation also come when you are a startup company, or if you are doing your research as a PhD, because you basically have some time to do that research and you just have to use that data. So for that, ANSYS basically comes with the granta material information is there. So from that information, you will import it, or if you have any user defined material, so you can also import that user defined material, and you can do the BH curve analysis. And from there, you just combine it, and after combining, just see the effect, what, like if speed is increasing or not. So what was the effect I will get for the designing of the motor? Is my performance or efficiency of the motor is increasing? Is I am able to reduce the size of the motor? So that also you have to be consider, and you can easily design it. And then it's come the efficiency map. So in that efficiency map here, Magna Electronics quoted that their validation of the simulation model lead to the investigation to reduce the permanent magnet size, and they are basically able to reduce the size of their permanent magnet up to the 20% of the magnet size for the same motor. And their simulation result and experimental result are accurately predict the electromagnetic performance. So for that, we will basically get the efficiency map, and the blue dot in that efficiency map is basically I am putting the driving cycle on that efficiency map. Like if I will run my model for the particular period of time, what was the performance I will get? What was the efficiency of the motor I will get? If I'm using that range of drive cycle, what was the efficiency, and how to or use, or I have to use different type of motor for that particular application. So that also very important when you are going for efficiency mapping. And when you have a regenerative braking, like you are running your motor and you are running your electric vehicle and you are living in a hilly area, so daily you just have to climb a slope, and the slope is nearly 5%, so you can consider it as a slope for the 5%. So for that, your battery always required more power at that particular climbing up, but their acceleration we will consider very less, only gradient force, weight of the battery, rolling resistance. So these are the forces we will consider it when we are climbing it, but that will require a lot of power from the battery. And when you are going down and your regenerative efficiency is nearly 10% or 20%, means in the climbing up you are wasting basically 100, and you are getting only 10 to 20%. So effective regenerative braking to the electric vehicle is very important topic when we are considering and when we are designing our electric vehicle part. So regenerative we have to be considered, because if you consider that regenerative efficiency hypothetically considered as 100%, so you are climbing up the hilly area and you are going down. So that will not cost you, because you are using whole efficiency that is lost in the climbing up is be considered to the climbing down. So this will basically considered as a flat route traveling. So that is the point. When you are going for designing, we have to consider the regenerative part. And the next we have to cool our motor. So for that you require a thermal management thing, and then thermal management like battery we also have to air cool and the liquid cool system. Like here in the liquid they are like lucid motor, they are basically oil is using a oil spray cooling, and they basically increase the efficiency of the motor by 12% by using that, reducing and perfectly managing the physical measurement, and that will basically gain their like they will easily able to predict the temperature. Like if you have a whole motor and only some small part like a red dot you can see, so that part is getting heated, so how we can mitigate and predict and mitigate that temperature. And so by using that you will able to reduce that part, and when you able to reduce that heat part you will able to use your motor and the range of the motor will basically increase. So we just have to look and you just have to consider when we are final going for designing part. And the next, like if you are sitting in an electric vehicle and the noise of the vehicle and the noise of the outside will basically make and irritate the customer who is sitting, or they make the person very bad, feel very bad when they are basically. So we just have to also think the passenger comfort. So for that noise and harness and noise vibration and the harness analysis are very very important thing when we are designing our EV. So electric vehicle, car, and the other things. So for that you required by using that you can easily able to predict by a windfall diagram will come in the answers, and this will be with the red part will basically give you information. So that was the noisy part, and that noisy part you just have to reanalyze and we just have to reduce it. And your motor also contain some vibration, so that also we have to reduce it. And we have a multi-objective and multi-physics traction model, and now you have designed perfectly designed your motor. Your motor is also working up to this fine, but you have to optimize it. So for optimizing, you basically like there are the many factors like I will tell you, like cost, durability, weight, noise, vibration, efficiency, what was the packaging size, what was the performance. So these are the factors we have to be considered when we are final going for hardware designing of EV. So for that, like what was the weight of the machine, electrical machine is going, because if you increase the weight of the machine, that machine will require some power when we are going for 1 hour. And then the cost is also important factor, so that also we have to be consider. And what was the efficiency? Like your efficiency, motor efficiency is less. This means you required the size of the battery or the power requirement of the battery will be more. The size of the inverter connected to that motor and the size of the DC-DC converter will also increase. So that also we have to take consideration. And then what was this stress and strain analysis? So that also as a factor, and then we have to combine that factor and redesign our whole motor and redesign our whole simulation up to the mark. So then we will combine it, and then we will improve our performance. So I will show you a little bit like glimpse of that, like how to design these things in the MotorCAD. And the next we have to design the controlling part. Like you have designed your motor perfectly. As this motor is running according to the driver point of view. So that also we have to consider. So for that we required software in loop, and there are many other options like this will basically help you to interaction between the components and what was the system behavior when you connect your motor with the inverter or the DC-DC converter. So that also we will look into the simulation part. So now you can see the electrical machine development process basically consists of design, basically consists of like MotorCAD and the RM expert and the Maxwell, and then that information will be given to the FEA analysis. And then we have to give that information to the noise and vibration and the cooling. And then we have to go for system validation part. Now what we will do, we will comes under the like we have designed the battery. We have designed the battery management system. We have designed our motor. Now selection of the motor and the battery is done. And now we have a battery with the 48 volt, and we basically want to run an electric motor of 310 volt. So for that you require a DC-DC converter, and that will also give you information what was the like limit the voltage level, limit the current level. So that also be done and take care by the power power electronics devices. Electronics devices will also basically consider the main goal is the power density and lifetime of the material, and the what was the noise and the over voltage protection. So that also taken care by the power electronics devices. Now we have, for that you required electrical team, mechanical team, software team, and the electromagnetic and the thermal team for the power electronics combination. And the main goal is to high power density, how to reduce or overcome the EMI, EMC. So these are the problem we are facing when we are finally going for electric. Like we all know, even electric in the switches, we have a switching loss for the power electronics devices. So how to mitigate and reduce that? How to like reduce the number of switches in the power electronics? That is also a very important topic, because that polyton is also devices also produce some noise, so we just have to reduce that also. And we have to power factor improvement when you are charging your electric vehicle with the AC supply, so at that time you have to reduce that thing. The next we have to select the account what was the magnetic performance of the machine and the material cost and the material thing we have to take care when we are finally selecting what type of material we are going to select for the designing of our power magnet. So now you can see here inverter is there. So inverter consists of IGBT devices and the MOSFET, BJT. So these are the devices connected to that inverter part. But you have to think like which devices I have to select for that particular motor. Like I have to go for IGBT, I have to select the MOSFET. So which, like if you have a high frequency and the size of the up to the 3 to 5 HP, so then MOSFET will be suitable. And for the high power range, more than 4 kilo 5 HP motor, more than 5 HP motor, people are basically go for their further calculation and doing the, but the switching frequency should be less. So that also we have to be considered according to our need and according to our designing process. We have to select it, and you also have to take care of skin and the part was the proximity effect due to presence of any component. And in IGBT, you also have to do the thermal analysis of the IGBT, like what was the heat of the IGBT is able to generate, and how we have to reduce that IGBT heat generated in the IGBT, what was the wire temperature. So that also we have to look into it. Like you can see here, we have a hotspot and the thermal limit prediction, and that hotspot will be created in power electronics device, and we have to reduce to that hotspot part. We have to remove that hotspot part. So that also we have to take consideration when we are final designing it, because you can see here only that part is getting heated. So if you remove that heat, you will able to use that and at the more efficient manner. Now the power electronics device is connected. Now we have to make the safe embedded control system for our controlling the battery and the DC-DC converter. So ANSYS will basically give you a certified code. So from there you will easily able to go for manufacturing. If that code is validated, so that code will be sent back to, and this will basically provide you safety edges. So safety of embedded software will be present. And the next this answers will basically give you a certificate EMI certification. So that EMI certification will easily like we have already done our that detection and the mitigation of EMI effect will be done, and the next we will able to detect the weak point, and the third we will basically reduce the time and the cost by
Karthikesh,
20.
sir,
Yes sir.
slightly increase your volume, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Hello, now it's okay, sir. Can you
Yes,
please
sir. Yes,
confirm?
sir. Now audible, sir.
Okay, okay, sir. And that will basically make the or the reduce the time and the cost for the test by 20 to 40%. And the next is the what was the PCB reliability. So for the PCB reliability, we basically have to search, like you can see here, PCB board also got heated, and what was the lifetime of the PCB. So that also we have to be considered before going for final life prediction. We have to consider what was the component I am basically using, and then the using that component, what was the label and what was the range of the life of the whole system we are getting for the. So that will be easily able to predict, and that model will be very easy in use when you are and that will also reduce the cost associated with the physical testing. Like we will basically go to that power electronics design development process. What we have done, we have first designed our inverter, and then we have fed the information from the data sheet to the inverter part. Like we have a switch of IGBT, and then IGBT required that thermal level of temperature that is already specified in the data sheet of the component which we are basically going to design. So that component information will be fed to that inverter, and then we have to do the thermal and EMC analysis. And after doing that, we just have to control for the put that drive cycle information, and then we have to run that motor, and then we have to check what was the level of voltage and the current, is there a limit is crossing or not. So that we have to consider when we are going for system and the control part. And then we have basically a powertrain system integration part. In that, we just have to combine the whole system that is already designed. Like we have a system in that system integration, we have a system architecture and the component validation. We have know how we have selected the component, like we have done all the analysis, our thermal spray. So these are the analysis, load analysis are already done on the component, and then we have to combine that component with the system integration, and individually we have to done that, and then we have to go for full vehicle simulation. In that, you can also feed information from the MATLAB, Simulink, and GT Suite. So these things you can easily done. Like you can see here, the third party ecosystem is there, and in that you will able to MATLAB and GT Suite, FMI, and the COSIM. So you can exchange information for the system integration part. Now you have designed your architecture design is over, and now you have that architecture basically provide you information about the battery, like fuel cell battery is there, heat exchange library, and the liquid cooling library, and the vehicle dynamic library is there. So you just have to only change that material present in the library. You no need have to change the whole overall system. If you want to only change the battery, if you want to only change the machine, like from permanent magnet or induction motor, so you can only change it in the vehicle dynamic library. And this from that information, like we already design, you can design it to your model in the 3D. You can also use that design of experiment in the form of data, in the form of function, in the form of measurement. So these all information you can feed in that, and you can also, by using that reduce order modeling, and then we can able to get a efficient generation, and by using that we can easily design our whole system and whole simulation. We will done it, and then we can analyze, validate, and the valuation and the validation will be easily done, and perfectly you will get a result like the hardware result. So this is the embedded software present, and that embedded software will basically give you a V2V workflow is there. So that will basically help you in going for direct going for designing, and you can also reuse the software, and you can also do the maintenance testing and the other modeling testing. You can easily do it. And then the final thing is the system integration, and what was the performance of my whole system in the form of system integration part. Like we have to validate our whole hardware. Like you have a battery, you have a power electronics, you have a power cables, you have a traction motor, and then you have a control system related to that. And then what was the performance of my whole integrated EV, electric vehicle. that also we have to be considered, because sometime you have designed, but that running running at the time of running, what was the vibration of the, what was the at the time of jerk, what was the situation of the battery, and what was the situation of the motor. So that also you have to be considered, and that is very important when you are final going for prototyping your hardware part. Sorry. So that will basically help you. By using that answers, you can only change, and you can also put the driving cycle on that. And this system will basically require the architecture part, real-time modeling, and the subsystem. And the last but not least is the system validation. Like for that, you just require a drive cycle, and we have to integrate with the functional safety and the optimization part. Uh, and then these are the some research area I have listed it. Like for the electrical machine, people are basically interested in doing research in motor control. They are interested in doing research in the thermal part. They are basically interested in the research doing the noise and vibration harness, how to mitigate that, how to reduce that, and the regenerative braking, and the what was the efficiency of the efficiency of the machine which you are using, and how to design the battery pack. In that battery pack, people are interested in doing research related to battery management system, functional safety of the battery, like crash and the accident information they required for their whole system designing, how to design our fast charger, and how to design wireless charger. So, and what was the efficiency of the wireless charger, and what was the component I have to required for designing that charging part. Like one more thing I will add, like you have a solar panel, and from that energy you are basically using as a charger. So that will basically help you to cost like environmental, make the system environmental friendly, and using the renewable energy is also a main concern for the researcher. Like from the solar you can make a charger, and that charger will basically charge your battery. So that will also coal emission will be, and that part will be reduced when you are directly using solar part. And then we have a power electronics devices. In that you have a switching thing, like how to reduce that switch loss, how to increase the efficiency of the motor by using that power electronics devices, how you can transfer that power from the battery to the motor, and what was the functional safety you will basically provide. So that's also a very important thing when we are going for that power electronics reliability and doing that power electronics research. And then we have a system integration. In that system integration you have a safety and the reliability. What was the safety you will provide it, what was the energy management thing that is present in that battery. Like you have a battery, and you have a whole machine of the EV, and some part of the electric vehicle require 12-volt supply, very less power. Some part of the vehicle like motor required low more power at the slope. And we have to also manage the torque of the electric vehicle. So that also comes under this system integration part and the research. And these are the basically listed opportunities for the student for the multiple physics according to their multiple department wise. Like battery management system required this type of department, chemical, material, mechanical, aerospace, automobile. And for the structural analysis, some people required like mechanical, aerospace, and the automobile. So these are the uh, thing I have already basically categorized as according to technology. We have divided the department, and these are the job opportunity for the, if you have a EV skill, like if you want to do the scientific research, you can do. You can also go for design and development part. You can also go to manufacturing part. You can also do the maintenance. You can also do the sales and support part. So these are the options available for the EV graduate and EV related jobs. And then we have a Lucid Motor, and they basically our customer, and they are basically increase their efficiency up to 12%. So how they have done, they have basically easily able to predict the temperature range of the machine, and for that they have mitigated that, and they will able to increase it. And what was the path will ANSYS will provide. ANSYS also have a also have, these are the learning path, like you just have first you just have to come to AIC courses, and from that AIC courses you will go to that simulation, and then you have a lab experiment, and then you go to verification and validation part. And so let me introduce something about ANSYS. Like ANSYS is basically a best of the breed simulation and number one simulation platform for the designing of the part and the other material, and do the FE analysis and the other analysis. That is the basically leading, and that ANSYS will basically provides you a platform in that a granta material information is the material information present to us, and from there material information and that platform will basically combine the different physics like fluid structural electromagnetism semiconductors and the embedded software and the optical analysis will comes under the one platform, and the material of information is also present in the answers, so you can also design it accordingly. And like we have also have a answers innovative courses, and so that innovative courses will help the undergraduate and the early graduate level courses. That courses come, and you can enroll it on that course, and you will get a certificate related to that, and that will basically also help you in the or designing part if you are going for final designing of EV and the any other like 5G technology or any other technology you are interested in. And by the ANS AIC, that is ANSYS innovative courses are basically designed by the leading universities and OEM manufacturers. And the next we have a ANSYS Learning Hub, and that ANSYS Learning Hub basically gives you that is a ANSYS Learning Hub is a blueprint. This will give you information from the basic level or the beginner level to the expert level information is there. There are many tutorials there, so from their tutorials you will easily able to learn, and you will also get many information from there. And after this presentation we will basically divided our presentation in two half. After presentation I will go through that Q&A, question and answer, and I will basically give you information if you want any questions, so we will discuss it later on. So that basically Answers Learning Hub is there, and in that Answers Learning Hub is basically provides you a virtual classroom for your learning information. And these are the professional courses related to ANSYS. In for the power electronics we have listed it as a pathway, like how people will start, and that path will be also present in the learning hub. And these are the job opportunities I have already discussed, and these are the department and the technology. So these are the basically academic success stories related to like we also have collaborated with Park, and there we have a center of excellence for the electric vehicle. And the phase one is motoring part, and the second phase is the power electronics, and the third phase we are basically running is the battery and the battery management system, and then they will go for selling it. And the next you can see we are connected with the AI, and in that we have a EV and the other uh, com, combination, and we are basically designing that. And the next we have also combined with the IIT Bombay racing team is there, so they will basically using answers and they are get satisfied. And the next this is the ARK Info Solution Private Limited, so we are basically present and these are the basically brands we are basically collaborated with the work. Okay, so I will first show you like how we can design the machine. So for that, let me show you one video uh, related to that. Like we have a many templates of the machine is present. So from that template, I have selected the internal permanent magnet motor, and in that we have to select the geometry is there, winding is there, and input data. That input data basically contain the material information, and then we have a e magnetic and the output data. So from there that data, I will basically fast forward this process. So this will basically help you the learning process. Now we have selected the model and we are basically interested in doing the electromagnetism analysis and efficiency mapping. So we just set that, and I am basically doing that for the stator peak current is 480 and the maximum is 10,000. So for that, we just have to click on the build model, and then we have to select what type of drive we are basically interested in. Like I have selected a DC. So for the DC bus voltage, I have changed it to 400, and then we have to set what was the modulation index for the inverter you are required. And then we have operating mode. We have to select it like you want the motoring and the generating mode. You are basically want the control strategy. What type of control strategy, like maximum efficiency or the maximum torque. And then we have to select what was the losses you have to be considered it. And like I have selected mechanical loss right now, for that calculation is neglected. But for that, for your if you have a frictional losses information, windage losses information, so you can also feed it. And then we have to go for electromagnetism, and there I am basically interested in efficiency mapping. So for that I will select the efficiency map, or you can also interested in maximum torque speed curve. So then you can also select the maximum torque oblique speed curve. And then we have to set what was the maximum speed you basically want, like 10,000. I have selected is 10,000 and I in the step of 500. So I have selected it like that, and then we have to click on the calculate magnetic performance, and then we will basically get the shaft torque versus speed curve. So for that 280 Newton meter torque I am getting for what motor I have designed. So for that I am getting this. And the next, if you click on that, you can also check the what was the shaft power also by clicking that, and you have a efficiency option also, so you can also check it, like that is the maximum power I am getting by using this motor which I have designed it. And the next, we have to check what was the saturation model is there, and then full model or the step signal. If you select the step signal, so then it will basically make simulation fast. And if you don't select that, this will basically make your system to be run for more time. And the next, we have to select, we are basically interested in FEA mapping. So I will select it at the FEA map, and then I will run that simulation. And after running that simulation, I will little bit fast forward this step, and then you will get the information like method in the saturation 30 point per cycle, and iron loss I am calculating using FEA analysis. And then you will get a result like this. At that time, for that analytical method, you are getting 280, but now you are somewhat reduced value of the power and the reduced value of the, because now we are considering whole losses and the other factors, so that also comes in the play. So you just have to check on the user defined, and then you have to set some frictional losses, and then we have to go for electromagnetic performance analysis. So this is the basically shaft torque in Newton meter and the curve you are getting. So now you can see at the time of starting, like 500 or in the range of 500 RPM, you are getting a very low value of the efficiency. The value of the efficiency is very less. So when at that particular application, if you require that this motor for less than 1000 RPM, so then this motor is not suitable for your performance point of view. And we can also check the same thing for the power. Like go to that shaft power, and now you can see the power rating of that. We also have information like surface mode of information is there, and then we have to go to the calculation and then duty cycle. In that duty cycle, you can see here we have two options, like you have to select the custom duty cycle, or you basically want to select the automotive drive cycle. And like in India, we are basically using Indian drive cycle. And but for that, I will select that the US is 06 for the US drive cycle, and otherwise you have to use the custom drive cycle. And then we have to feed the information like thermal transient coupling option is there. So there you will also click on that. Now you have a vehicle, and then vehicle contains some mass, so we just have to put the mass also, like I have set it to 1521. You have to set the what was the rolling resistance coefficient, what was the frontal area, what was the size of the wheel, because that size of the wheel basically determined according to the what was the torque you basically required. And in electric vehicle now people are also using for the speed range, one gear system is also connected. You just have to take care, like if you increase, like power is equals to torque into omega. So if you want to increase the torque in 10 times, then you have to reduce the omega by 10 times, then the power will be in a constant. So that point also we have to consider this. So that is the driving cycle which we are using is the shaft torque, and then we will show the what was the power of the and power, shaft power we are required. And then we have what was the energy efficiency of the motor which I am using. So I will basically fast forward this process, so that then I will select it for the motor and generator both, and then calculate E magnetic performance. So this will give you a result like this, like motoring mode and the generating mode is also included. Now what we will do, we will put that drive cycle which we have designed, and that blue dots will come. So that blue dots basically give you information for that particular operating point. You are getting that particular efficiency. So if I like, you can select it as a one dot here. So I am using and I am getting the efficiency of nearly more than 96% here. And if I am driving my cycle in that range, like my shaft torque is less but speed is high, then also I am getting a efficiency of 84 to 86 of the range. So that also we just have to recover it when we are designing, like what application is involved when we are going for final selection and final designing of our motor. So, and these are the parameters we have a speed and torque. So we can also change that speed and the torque, and from that curve we will basically get the information for that particular operating point. What was the efficiency? What was the shaft torque? What was the shaft power I am getting? What was the DC terminal voltage? That this terminal voltage is set it. What was the stator phase current? What was the stator line current? So these information we will get it when we will run it for that particular operating point. So likewise, I have selected the speed for the 6000, and the torque I will change it to 160. So for that, what was the first, we will also have to define, like I have defined it according to the torque. So I just have to click on that operating point and E-magnetic, and then calculate on the calculate operating point. So from there you will comes to know the all information, like at that particular operating point you are getting a efficiency from the motor is 96.95, and you also get the information like stator phase current is the 319.6, and these are the information. And now you can also go for providing the cooling system according to that. So for that we just have to first, from the data sheet, we just have to check what was the temperature range, like we have set it to now by default it is 65, so you can also change it, and change it according to your motor, according to your machine. You just have to change it, and then you have to go for final analyzing and designing part, and then solve the magnetic modeling. And from there you will get the information about what was the torque ripple is present here. Like you can see torque ripple in percentage, it is 12.933. So you just and you can also add it, like you at that time what was the system efficiency, you are getting a 97.03. And what was the shaft torque? We have selected as a shaft torque as 160. So you are getting nearly same for that. So now you can select that losses. We have options like you can select the current. You can also check what was the graph of the terminal voltage, what was the torque, what was the air gap density. So these are the information available when you are designed and you just finalizing for the final going for selecting your motor and topology for that final designing and prototyping designing if you are going for prototyping and designing part, so that you can easily able to understand and easily able to go for it. Like, and one switch reluctance motor is there also. There in that, what was the advantage we have? We basically don't have to think about the permanent magnets, because that permanent magnet cost and the availability is also a concern area when we are going for designing part. So the next, let me share it like how we can manage our power electronics devices. That also a very important thing when we are going for designing. So I will show you that how power electronics devices we are basically going to like you can see in that screen, we have a EM losses, electromagnetic losses there, and from that I spec present in the answers. So that will basically give an information about the temperature. Now you can see in this model, the red spot part is there and red spot part is there. So if you reduce that red spot part from there, and if you reduce the red spot hotspot part from this part, so this basically make your IGBT efficiency and the IGBT performance you can increase, and you can go more range you can achieve it. So for that, the next we basically have information like we have a battery from the inverter to the motor, and then we have a AC supply, and we also require these power electronics devices. By using the rectifier we can control it. The next, by using the ANSYS electronics desktop, like I will show you now how it's look like, and then we will do the whole simulation of EV on that. So you just have to select it, and after selecting you just have to design it. Okay, so now we have selected the DC resistance part, and then we have to name it after, and then naming. After selecting, we just have to run the whole simulation and you will get a results. Like boundary condition, we are selecting it here, and the next you will get a result. So for that, let me share it. And the next, we just have to go to doing the analysis. Now you will get a result like this. Now you can see here the temperature range, you are getting a 114 degrees Celsius, and then and that data sheet which it shows that 125 and 175. So that data sheet you can see like that comes under the data sheet, like 125 is the maximum temperature there. Now only mitigating that thing, that the connection base with the connection part, we are actually reducing your temperature from to 93, 114 to 93. So that was the advantage we are getting it when we are finally designing and when we are doing the analysis. So, and that is the modified and that is the original part. Original part final temperature range we are getting it as 134, but by using the modification we are making our circuit to run at the range of 113, and that is specified, already specified. We cannot go beyond the certain maximum temperature, because for the peak temperature or the peak value, you just have to run that peak value for up to 2 to 5 seconds. You cannot use continuously for the particular period of time, because this will cause your system to be get burned. And when inverter get burned and the short circuit happen in the inverter, so whole system will become the short circuit will happen, because one leg and the above and the one leg is the below. So if short circuit happen, this will cause your whole system to be catch fire. And the next after designing and after analyzing this whole process, we just go to that answers to inbuilder part, and then I will show you, like we already have told you, we have a RM expert, and in that RM expert we have designed a PMSM. Let me zoom it little bit. Okay, we have designed our motor, and we basically want to how analyze how to like how to control it. We will control it by using the inverter part. So so inverter is connected with the motor. Okay, and from that motor part, like we have a information about degree and the omega. So from there we are basically hysteresis control loop, we are using it here. So whole you will get a result like this. And after designing and after analyzing, like you have perfectly designed your motor, you have connected it with the inverter, and then you have reanalyzed your system, and your system is working fine. Then you can select it for the prototyping. So next step, the next part is to go for EV. So we will go for it in EV part. So let me zoom it. Now what uh, we have a driver, and that driver will basically give information when to stop, when to right, when to get accelerated, when to deaccelerate. So that how we can do. So like what type of power we required for going at the heel, what type of information you are required when you are going sliding down. So that information will be given back to the driver, and that driver will and give information accordingly, what type of situation will be happen when you are driving it. Now you have a battery, and then we have a motor controller, and that motor controller is connected to the motor, and then we have a wheel, and the braking system is present, and that is the car. So that car will basically get the stop, and the idle information is there, and the wind velocity and the gradient angle information we have to feed when we are finally and going to designing part. So after that, like I have already shown you what was the curve we are using, like what was the duty cycle we are using it. Now here we have a duty cycle like this, like we are accelerating, we are deaccelerating. Also this type of information we got it from the driving cycle. And the next is the PI controller. We are using it for the controlling our models. So that was the that performance is the model performance for the controlling. And the next we have to focus on what was the battery. So you can see here at the timing, the battery is charged up to zero point 0.7, and now at the last, the battery is discharged up to 30%. And you can also, you have to be also think about, like you have a battery, and the battery life. That battery will run for the like battery at, if you charge the battery 100%, is it able, you can surely, you can't say surely that that is up to the 48 volt. It will sum out 50, 52, 53, and it is some below that. So you just have to check what was the perfect value of the voltage, and that will be controlled by using the electronic devices. And now I have for that this design, we also have some regenerative braking. So that's why some part it is getting charged, then discharge, charged, and discharge. But I have selected the charging regenerative braking up to 30%. So you can also design it for your designing, and for your designing and analyzing uh, how for the whole model. So that uh, sorry. So then after that, like you have I have shown you how we can do the, like we have a RM expert, and in that you have to give the IGBT control signal. So basically that sine wave control system, the signal is there, and PWM technique control system is there. How to control the duty cycle of the PWM technique. So these are the parameters we have to be got consideration and consider when we are going for final designing of our electric vehicle. Before going that prototyping, we just have to reanalyze, and we just have to study that. So now we will go for that Q&A, question and answer present in the chat box. So we will cover it, and if you have any question or any doubt, you can ask. If you want to do a startup and any other problem related to that, even I can also help you on that part. Like if you want to go for prototyping of EVs, and if you basically have some other idea related to power electronics devices, so we can I will basically I also started a next one startup is also there. I just not added in the resume. That startup will basically work for the EV charger part. So if you want information related to that, we can also uh, have it because sir is having my email ID, so we can connect it by using that. And the next go to that chat box. Okay, so what questions we have? So I will look into that. Okay, how can we register for the in the answers courses? There are many courses in the answers that are free of cost, and you can also download a free software option is there in the answers. So for the student only, so they can download it and they can practice it. Otherwise, for the paid courses or the like ALH is there, Answers Learning Hub, so that will be very less costly. So you can also buy that, and you can that free software, and the Answers Learning Hub will basically help you in deciding in designing and the other part. And you can also your college can also buy it like full answers package for like electrical electromagnetism is there, for mechanical other design is there, so you can also do that and then you can design it, and you can do your whole calculation. Like if your BTech project, the free software is there, so you can also practice it from there for the student only. And the next what we have, sir, from yesterday file answer. Okay, so that is question from this yesterday point of view. Okay, sir, can you tell the sequence of a safe building for the model in answers? Let's say
Sir, voice is too low, sir. Please, sir.
okay, sir. Uh, okay, that step and the sequence for designing an answers, let's say, and the induction motor is to be designed in answers. You have two process of for designing of any motor. You can also have a RM expert in answers. So from there, which motor you basically want to select it, the ready to go template option is there. So you have to select the template of that machine. And the next step after selecting the template part, we have to select the what type of winding you are interested in. Third part is the select the geometry. So if that is the only question, then I will show you the process how we will go to that. Okay, so that is the prof. Okay, so let me share that step, so that will be basically helpful for you. Like you are designing for the induction motors. So let me share my screen. Like we have to select the motor type. The first step is to selection of the motor type. Select the motor type, and then we have e-magnetic. In that, you just have to select the geometry, and then you can select, like I have changed it the slot number. When you change it, that thing you just change it, then the green color will come. Like this will give you information you have changed it. And the next we have to select it for the rotor dimension set, and then you can also go to that is the axial view. And then we have a 3D view, so you can save it your geometry, and then you have a 3D view like this. So in that 3D view you can also select it any material or any component you want to see, like a stator. If you want to show the rotor, so you can click on that stator and the shaft component, so then that information will be available to you. And after designing that, you can also import it to the other other files if you want to do that analysis. So you can also do that. And the next step after doing that, you basically you basically have to go to that winding things, and then winding material we have, like you can go to that winding definition. In that winding definition, you can set the definition of the winding. You can also set the pattern, number of parallel path, number of throws in that part. You can also check the harmonics and the harmonic factor present in that. And the next step after doing that, the winding, like we just have to select the input data. In that input data information, you have a total weight of the machine that you can see 45.85 weight is there. If you change the material, the weight is also increase or decrease accordingly. So if the weight is the factor, you just have to click on that and select the material according to your weight. And then then you can save, and the next process is the electromagnetic analysis. So in that, you just, like I have shown you this process, we have set the DC bus 400, and we have set the shaft speed 6000 there. Here we are selecting it 6500, and then we have to set the skew angle, and then we have to solve the E-magnetic analysis, and then from that E-magnetic analysis you can get a efficiency curve like that. And then we have to import the cycle on that, like we have already used that the curve, a driving cycle curve, when we are finally designing and going for that part. Like you can see here, the same we have done it for the machine that we have already we are going when we are finally selecting for designing part. So the next after that, we just go and check for the particular operating point, what was the efficiency and what was the phase current. And the next, after doing that electromagnetic analysis, the next you can also check what was the equivalent circuit of the induction motor, and what was the value of the current and the present in the machine. So what was the total loss I am getting. So that analysis you can easily do it, and these are the graphs present in that. So these are the steps basically involved when you are going for final designing. And any question, if you have any question, you can ask. We have 3 more minutes to left.
I think if there is no question, we will come to the concluding session.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Participants, if you have any question, please put it in the chat box. Sir is ready to answer any type of question. I hope they will contact you through the mail, sir. Through your mail, they will contact and get their doubts clarified.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, participants.
Sir,
Yeah, yes,
one
sir.
question posted by Akash Ramanlal in chat box, sir. Can you tell
Yeah.
the sequence of steps for building the model in ANSYS? Let's say an induction motor is to be designed in ANSYS.
So that question I just now addressed it. I have shown the video of that step-by-step process for the induction motor.
Oh. Okay, right. Okay. You can.
Vipin sir, shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Sir, good morning, participants. Good morning, speaker of this session, Mr. Karthikesh Jha. Sir, session is very elaborative and informative. You have done the demonstration with the practical example also, as requested by the participants. And you have touched upon many things covering from hardware to software, how the software is useful in reducing the hardware, and how it reduces the time consumption and the cost involved in making the hardware items or in building the vehicle itself. So very demonstrative sessions you have conducted, very useful for those who are working in the area of power electronics, and those who are working in the area of battery technology, motor technology, and it is particularly useful for electrical and electronics engineers, those who are doing the research in this area, and also useful for mechanical engineers. It covers almost all the disciplines like mechanical, electrical, electronics, aerospace, chemical. So you have gone through all the disciplines and all the areas you have touched upon. And you also mentioned about wireless charger, the impact of solar and carbon footprint also you have mentioned. And you have highlighted the research areas, what are the areas they can go for the research, that areas also you highlighted. And you mentioned that power electronics is the brain of electric vehicle, and how the ANSYS will help in coming out with reducing the price of the overall vehicle, and how the modifications can be easily done by means of simulation software, and how the battery structure can be optimized, and electrical propulsion system. Many points you have covered and you have explained the torque power packaging, how the ANSYS motor CAD can help in dealing with the motor torque, power and packaging, etc. And you also demonstrated the ANSYS software with the selection of the material, how to select the material, and with the different materials, how it will perform. So many things you have highlighted, and you told about the tractor design optimization also, and how this virtual prototyping of hardware, embedded hardware, will help in reduction of manpower, cost, and time, total cost of the product. 50% of the time saving in construction of system architecture can be done by means of the ANSYS software. And finally, you have demonstrated with the induction winding with a great example, and you run the video also how to build the windings with the ANSYS. That is also question raised by one of the participants. And you have thrown light on the startup and prototype. The space available in the startup and prototype for the faculty members as well as for others also, those who are in this field. So, and overall, the session is very informative, elaborative, and useful for all the faculty members of various domains. So once again, I thank the speaker, eminent speaker, on behalf of the Department of Mechanical Engineering and on my own behalf and all my participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants.